Hey, here's Artie. How about that? Oh, man. I'm sorry. I just finished the McDonald's. I'm here with Rich Voss and Bonnie McFarlane.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
That's right. I'm a graduate. June of 87. Class of June of 87, CSP, the New Jersey campus. So you guys did a movie that I'm in. Let's talk about this because you're trying to get this. Do you have a deal? Do you not have a deal? You guys were talking a little bit about the process. I went through this with Beer League, man. It's disheartening. Well, it really is. It's like, oh, you start out in life, you watch a funny movie, you watch like Bill Murray and Stripes, and you're a kid. I want to do that, right? And you grow up and you start doing it, and all of a sudden you're talking to some lawyer and some executive, and it's sad, right?
Well, here's the thing: when
you got a movie called Women Aren't Funny, it's a documentary.
It's a comedy documentary, but the thing is, like, we showed it twice in 2 festivals, and it kills.
Yeah.
It kills. I'm telling you.
First of all, Artie Lange is in the movie.
I'm in the movie.
We should say that, and you, in fact, are the first thing in the movie.
First thing you see.
It's so funny.
It's a hook.
It's so funny.
That's why you need a hook for the audience.
It's so funny. So,
so you guys, when they told me you were doing this, so I did that interview back in '09, I think. So you've been doing
You
this
were our
a
first
while.
interview.
Okay, so it's been like a few
you were
years.
well, our first real interview.
And who else is in it?
Yeah. Oh, who else?
Did you get Rock to do it?
Chris Rock's in it. Wanda, Sarah, Lisa.
And it's called Women
Rosie.
Aren't Funny. And
Dane.
so explain that. Explain like Bonnie, why that title and what are your thoughts on that?
Well, because, it seems like it just this thing the media keeps dredging up is that, are women funny or not? It's like something, I don't know. I don't know why it's such a big issue. I guess because it's like you're allowed to debate it. Nobody really gets hurt. And it's, you know what I mean? It's like one of those kind of like misogynistic kind of topics that
you can't really lose your career for woman bashing. Gay bashing, blacks, a couple of groups. You're fine if you mess with Catholics. Yeah. But if women, you could still bash and people yell at you, but you won't lose a job. You'll lose a career if you get certain groups mad.
Yeah.
Right. You couldn't say the same thing about black people or Asians.
No,
funny.
Gay people or any minority. Now.
Jews, my people.
Jews.
Yeah.
Jews, you don't want to get them aggravated in this business. Absolutely not. But women are that one of those last groups, where they'll yell at you, but you won't lose your gig.
But
Well, this is the thing I think that women do that's wrong is anytime anyone brings it up, like when Adam Carolla or whatever is like, says they take to the Twitter and they send out angry
the first thing they do is prove it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, he's not your boss.
What
he's
does it
just
matter?
some dude that has an opinion.
Well, they're afraid he can influence people.
But even still, it just is like, you got to let it go. You can't. Although, that being said, I made an entire movie about it.
Well, Chris is not a comedian. He's a journalist. He writes for Sports Illustrated. Do you have women comics that you find are funny?
Sarah Silverman?
Okay.
I find
That's
her
like
funny.
the standard answer.
I know it is, but I'm not a,
But before that?
Well, first of all, let's go through your male comedians. Let's just see where he's at. I want to just see where he's at.
Who's your favorite
What's my
comic?
baseline? Oh, God. Don't even put me in the spot. I don't even know. I don't watch
he
a lot of comedy.
he can't answer. He can't answer
I'm not
either
a good,
way.
You're from Boston?
I'm from Boston, yeah.
There's tons of great. Kenny Rogerson, Don Gavin, Lenny Clark.
Look,
they're
he's
all
not
from
a-
Boston.
he's
Yeah,
not
Probably never even heard of Kenny Rogers.
Look, I can't name any pictures. Goose. There you go. That's the only one.
Goose is a big one. He's very funny, too.
I just saw that book right there.
Vita Blue.
Vita Blue. He's hilarious. But it's so you have do you have a favorite comedian of all time?
No, I mean as far as watching, I don't watch a lot of stand-up. I mean, I watch Seinfeld.
Is it Rita Redknapp?
Seinfeld. Well,
I watch
Seinfeld and Jerry
yeah.
Seinfeld.
But I've never seen him do
You'd
stand-up.
fall asleep if you saw him.
Right.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Here's the thing with the thing. When we show it live, and it kills. The problem is the lawyer will send it to one person, and they think their job is to watch it and tear it apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Industry
Right. No, I know. They feel they're being given. They want to give notes.
Yeah,
they got to have a purpose.
Notes.
Right.
We're done with it. We don't need notes. It's a yes or no. Do you want to buy?
That's the worst. When you get notes.
Yeah, notes. No, really, notes. Okay. Here's the thing. If you
say here's the thing one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to put this elbow in your face.
That's a fist, stupid.
It's a good point.
This is an elbow. Right?
Okay.
Table between them.
What I'm saying is, if you see this amongst 200 people, you're going to, an industry, or if say Showtime, HBO, Comedy Central, they were all in there, buyers, and they saw the audience laugh, and they're going, well, this must be great. We got to get it before they get it.
That with a comedy, I learned that with beer league. You got to get people to see it with an audience. That's a big deal.
Because now, if they get it at their desk, they're going to go, well, this is wrong. We have major stars in this movie. It's a great. The name alone, Women Aren't Funny. Every morning, new talk show in the morning,
it's a discussion.
Yeah, it's a discussion everywhere. The Chinese guy, the black lady, and the white guy in Indianapolis are going to talk about it. Everybody's going to talk about it.
Those four. No, I know. I must say, when I heard about it, when I found out you guys were doing it, knowing you guys, I wanted to do it much more. I think the key to selling it is you two. I think you guys got to get out there.
Well, we did. There was a little bit of problem at some point, that we were giving. Screening it a little bit for some women in the business.
And what happened?
Well, they just felt like maybe we weren't taking a bold enough stance on it.
We weren't. It's not an empowered. It's
but
a comedy.
But the thing is that I hate empowerment. I think it's gross. I do feel like it's a little it really makes me a little bit uncomfortable when women are rah rah rah, because I feel like you're doing what you hate men doing.
Well, here's the thing. Did you make the movie just as something to be entertaining, or are you trying to?
No.
Is there a clause here?
No, exactly.
Right.
I mean, the truth is, I wanted to make a funny movie. It seemed like a topic that could, maybe get a little steam going. And the other thing was, I just thought, if I make a funny movie with funny women and funny men in it, enough said. Why
not?
There you go. You don't have to have. I mean, the idea that I would actually have a real answer at the end of it kind of gives credence to the argument that maybe they're not funny. You know what I mean?
Well, how many women in the comics are actually in it? You got Wanda, you got Sarah, you got you. How many did anybody
Chelsea
get?
Peretti
Were anybody
was very funny in it?
Were anybody appalled by it? Did anybody say no? I'm not doing this.
There's people that
because we did do so. We didn't call it Women Aren't Funny until the people were in the movie. We called it. We were like, it's an untitled movie about women in comedy.
Right.
I mean,
because I didn't know if Joy Behar would do a movie called Women Aren't Funny. I don't know what level of irony they're at.
I know, but isn't it horrible when you got to assume that Joy Behar doesn't have that level of irony?
No, but I mean, Susie Essman.
Well, there's a certain kind of empowerment that happens before and after a certain age. I can't explain it. It's there's certain women that, of course, they had to fight a lot harder than I had to fight to get where they're going. So they might not have the kind of laissez-faire sense of humor about it that I have. So
Joan Rivers is an example of that. Joan Rivers is someone who's a pioneer with female comedy, without question. And it seems like when she's doing comedy, anything goes, nothing's offensive, but it's easy to offend her. She's one of those people that.
Oh, really?
But
oh my God, yeah.
But in the movie,
she gets offended. She would be offended if we were probably talking about this on some level.
No, but she's in the movie, and she sat with Bonnie for. She
said it's easier for women.
The day after Liz Taylor died, Bonnie interviewed her in Melissa's apartment, because Joan's apartment was full of cameras. Because Joan made a part of her career out of
Liz Taylor fat.
So, but Joan didn't want to leave Bonnie because she's a comic, and once comics start talking about comedy, they want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She said, I don't want to go upstairs and talk about.
What a pain in the
ass.
The
day after Liz Taylor died, Joan said you could still hear her munching in the coffin, right?
There was a different type of thing where anything went back then, like Don Rickles. Barack Obama went to Don Rickles' house or something in Malibu, and Rickles said that he stole a mop. He got in trouble. Rickles said, a reporter said, what was like having Barack Obama there? And he said, hey, he stole one of my mops. And some people were up in arms about that. I was it's Don Rickles.
Every time he left the room, I made him clap so I knew he wasn't stealing.
They do all that stuff. Well, that went back then. And Joan Rivers
what just happened, though? Rich tried to one-up Don Rickles. Okay.
No, I'm just doing a racial joke. Those Dean Martin roasts were the best roasts. Right. They were so funny. They were so edgy. I mean, if you watch...
And they were on NBC.
If you watch All in the Family or The Jeffersons or any of it, I mean, it was so funny. It's just there's so many special interest groups that they need special interest groups for those special interest groups.
It's just annoying that people don't get the context that it's in.
It's comedy. Right. It's comedy. People don't lose their jobs over comedy.
They shouldn't, but they do. Yeah.
Because the problem is they pander and they fold.
Well, I hate it's fine if it's funny.
Right.
It's like, really, we're all supposed to be batting 100.
When what's
Is that
his
a
name?
real thing?
When what's
Batting
his
100?
name? When what's his name did
Not
his?
real, but it's possible.
When what's his name did that the rape joke? What's his name?
Daniel Tosh.
They were up in arms. But then a writer.
Don't pretend you don't know who Daniel Tosh is.
I don't
No,
know
I
if his
couldn't
name is
remember the
pronounced
name.
Daniel Tosh or Daniel Tosh.0.
But then a writer wrote, rape jokes are offensive except when these people do them.
Yeah.
And she listed like 4 hot comics.
Right.
It's okay for them.
So
you can't-
ridiculous. I
You
know.
know what? Listen, there is a line. Sometimes you don't want to cross it. Okay. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's just a different world we live in. I was watching the original Arthur because with someone who was 25 years old, one of my cousins, and
One of your cousins.
one of my cousins, and a girl in her 20s, and we're watching the original Arthur because I saw the Russell Brand one and I said something has to be done. Like there has to be a movement where people don't think this is what this movie was, And really, I was so mad. So. The scene where he's driving the Rolls Royce and he's drinking the scotch going out to his fiance's place in Long Island. It's like a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
And he's on the FDR just downing scotch. I'm laughing like we always laughed at that when we were kids. And I looked at her and she was horrified. She was like, "Oh my, he's drinking and driving." It was like a horror movie to her. It was like, this is about a bad person. Like after seeing that, she couldn't laugh at anything he did because he's just a mean drinking driving.
I hope she hasn't watched Mad Men.
Well, I mean, they give that. They think you're right. They get that context for some reason, like with Mad Men.
It's I'm sober 27 years. I watch that show and I want to go to the bar right after it. I want to start smoking again.
Right.
I'm telling you.
No, I want to give some people sandwiches. Some of the women that get their ass bigger. I like that they cast hardy women. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's you know.
No, I was watching All in the Family the other day too, and people like if someone from a certain generation saw it, just heard this line, they wouldn't even care the context of it. He's talking to, he's getting mad at Meathead because Meathead helped a guy who was unconscious, and Archie thought it was like a gay thing, like to help an unconscious guy, and Meathead said to Archie, Archie, what would happen if you saw a man choking in there and dying and needed to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? What would you do? He goes, I'd find a fag fireman. So that, I mean, it's
But
some
that's
people don't
progressive in its own way
Right.
because he believes that there could possibly be fag firemen.
Listen, you're right. It's Archie Bunker saying, look, they're not out of the closet, but I bet there are.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. If you think of him actually going to firemen and interviewing them. I have a personal question. Man's dying. No, but like that was done by insane liberals, that show. And people don't even understand that. I don't know. Well, I hope it gets off the ground.
It will.
So is there any way we could help out with this? Is there some sort of website or?
I don't know. I know your
Jacqueline's
audience.
supposed to be making her website. She's sitting over there.
Jacqueline, let's get going. I mean, you seem to be dropping the ball on this. I'm kidding.
You made it. Put it up.
I
Is
know
it
we
up?
should have hired a man.
Rich had some, Rich was giving me notes, you know what I mean? So
I know
okay.
one thing your audience can help me out with is this week I'll be in Arizona, in Scottsdale, and I'd like to play True North a couple
I
rounds.
played that once.
It's a great course. I played it. I'm
You a good
probably
golfer?
Yeah, I'll probably play the Stadium Club because I have connections with TPC. But listen, Thursday and Friday I want to play golf. Rich at richvoss.com is my email.
Yeah.
know,
I played that with Bob Uecker and Norm Macdonald. We played True North once. But Norm did a commercial with Bob Uecker. You talk about politically incorrect. The funniest 24 hours of my life was with Bob Uecker.
Do you play golf?
No.
Oh.
I played 4 times in my life, and every time, by the 4th hole, I've been drunk, shirtless, and throwing the ball.
That's hilarious.
Every single time. So I only played. I'm not good at it, but to play that course once.
It's
Bob
beautiful.
Uecker was 78 years old at the time. He shot an 86 on that course.
That's a tough course.
Yeah,
That's a tough
You're
course.
into golf. That's great about you.
Yeah, I play
admire
everywhere.
that.
That's why I go on the road. What else am I going to do? Play golf?
That's true. You gotta golf. And you guys have a podcast, all right?
Yeah.
How do we find that?
Oh, it's called My Wife Hates Me. It's on iTunes.
Is it?
Yeah, it's hilarious. Listen,
I came up with a name.
If you think your marriage is in trouble, listen to our podcast. It's on iTunes or riotcast.com. My Wife Hates Me. This week's episode was pretty good. What did we talk about?
Do one a week?
We
Yeah.
we can't say my new tagline.
Oh, yeah. But you know, we talk about comedy. We talk about now we're going to bring every week or 2 weeks. We're going to bring in a therapist, a comic therapist, to help us.
What does that mean? Well, that guy
Jim
from the Upper East Side?
Florentine, yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, Florentine's not bad, actually.
Yeah.
Some of my best conversations I've ever had on the road are with Florentine, man.
We're going to bring him
Well, he
in.
kind of gave us the idea. Him and Opie want to do
Well, no, there's that guy. Did you go to that guy that Norton everybody goes to on the Upper East?
No.
Who's that guy? They
I
tried to
don't
get me
know.
to go to that guy.
Here's the thing with
There's like a
therapists.
comedian therapist in the city.
I know.
On the Upper East
yeah,
Side.
they all go to him. Here's the thing.
Bill
I can't
Lefkowitz.
start over again. Read a couple Bradshaw books. Your inner child. You can't be abandoned as an adult. You can't be bullied as an adult. Let it go.
Right.
I'm not going to a therapist and going through the whole thing again.
Well, it's okay.
You know what?
Bonnie, how do you feel about that?
I've begged him.
I went. Look,
I know it could save your life, Rich.
no, I went to marriage counseling with my first wife. It didn't work.
If you went to marriage counseling with your first wife, it didn't work. Yeah. But you have a kid. How old's the kid?
5.
Well, go for her.
No, I have 3 kids.
I know, but there's the 2 are older, right?
Yeah, 22 and 20. But Bonnie and I, listen, we fight like any couple, but we really like each other.
I can tell that. I can tell that.
We love each other.
I
She's
can tell
the
that.
best.
She thinks you're funny. That's why it works.
And I think she's great.
Yeah.
She's brilliant.
Not funny, but great.
Oh, no, she's funny. She's funny. She make
I
tonight.
said funny. She goes, I think she's great.
She's
Comics look into stuff like that. You know.
She's
You gotta-
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the one thing that does work for us is that I would never. First of all, not that anyone else, nobody else would ever want to be married to a female comic, but a comic. But but I would never want to have to come home and talk about somebody else's job.
Right.
How do the people do that? You
well,
know,
so you think people in different professions shouldn't get married?
yeah, I'm against it.
Not a bad idea.
What if you've got a real exciting job and your husband is an accountant? I mean, you
you're
got to
right.
split the.
No, I know.
Ugh.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying if one of your careers skyrocketed, I think the other one would get bitter. And
no,
aggravate. I
not
think it
if
would
the
end.
money. Listen.
Oh, if the money.
If the money. Listen.
So you're planning on it being her?
Listen. I'm mentally semi-retired.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just not financially. Okay.
Mentally, I've
No,
been
he
retired
really
since I'm
is.
26.
I've done enough. Okay. I don't care. I know I can do it. I
get
just
it.
want
Okay,
money.
You've done 5 pilots.
I want an RV and I want to drive around and do beat clubs and play golf.
Well, you're doing that.
Yeah.
I don't have the RV.
Well,
I just wanted to say hi to Mike.
Yes, Boschetti.
When I saw you out on the monitor there, I was like, "Damn, Artie's looking good."
That's why he's here. I Googled. I went on Google and I Googled comedians funnier, fatter, and uglier than Artie Lange.
Did you see
And Mike was the one guy that popped up.
Did you see Mike's documentary?
No.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
great.
good.
Oh no, was that Chooch?
No, it's called Who's Mike Boschetti. Bonnie, Rich was in it.
Oh, I
you're
heard
in
about
it.
that. No, I did.
Yeah.
No, I'm in it. Am I in it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in it. I'm in it.
Will, is there anything you'll say
We
no
were
to?
real honored to get you, Artie.
We said, who's in Mike's?
I'm in their documentary, which means, of course, they had my number. So it was great to be in, and I hope good things happen with that. Let me know if I can help, and listen to the podcast, and go see these guys live. 2 of my good friends, Rich. We have the trail. Oh, the trailer's on Twitter. How do we get that? At Artie Lange, me. If you go to @Artie Lange Show, we got the trailer.
For Women Aren't Funny.
For Women Aren't Funny, at Artie Lange Show. I didn't even know we
Or
had that.
women aren't funny, as Rich likes to
Oh,
pronounce
you know what
it.
I forgot to bring?
Broads aren't funny.
I forgot to bring my CD, Still Empty Inside, which is on iTunes.
Yeah, it's good.
It was #1 on iTunes.
When was that?
For an hour or two. The day it came out.
I know. Isn't that great? The manager gives you that call.
Yeah.
You put out a CD. Everyone's _1 for like an hour.
On iTunes.
You're #1 on iTunes. Like who's number
I took
2?
a picture of it.
Like who's number 2? The Eagles' greatest hits. And then they're gonna go back to #1 again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Rich Voss and Bonnie McFarlane, thanks, guys. Come back
Thanks,
anytime.
Artie, you're the best. You're the funniest.
This is
Thank
great.
you for having us.
This is great. I make a good co-host. Anyhow.
Rich Voss. We'll be right back with the Artie Lange. Bonnie McFarlane.